What if I told you that one of the most highly anticipated endorsement deals in recent sports history is quickly unraveling into a full-blown disaster? Angel Reese, the breakout star that Reebok placed all its chips on to revive its basketball line, is now at the center of a storm of controversy, and not for the reasons anyone expected. While Reebok had high hopes for Reese to be the face of their brand's resurgence, her performance on the court is leaving fans and analysts scratching their heads. This isn't the story of an athlete dominating the game. Instead, it's about a professional basketball player missing layups that even middle schoolers would make in their sleep. And the worst part? These missed shots are going viral, not as a symbol of struggle, but as content for blooper reels, memes, and internet laughs. As Angel Reese prepares to launch her signature shoe in 2026, Reebok's gamble is quickly turning into a marketing nightmare. The company, betting on Reese's rising star power and strong social media presence, might be facing a situation far worse than they ever imagined. Instead of creating a buzz around her on-court success, Reese's failures have made her an unintended comedic sensation. But here's the question everyone is asking. Can Reebok salvage this deal, or is it already too late for the 2026 launch? From the missed shots to the growing disappointment, let's break down how Angel Reese went from being a potential superstar to the most baffling endorsement blunder in sports marketing. When Angel Reese steps onto the court, the atmosphere changes, not because of her electrifying plays, but because every time she drives to the basket, fans and commentators alike hold their breath in disbelief. Because it's become a known fact that Reese's layups, the most basic shot in basketball, are anything but reliable. Watching her attempt these shots has become a cringeworthy experience for those who follow her games. One moment stands out. Against the New York Liberty, Reese missed 4 consecutive layups in just 12 seconds, 2 of which were blocked. And this wasn't a rare occurrence. This was just another chapter in a saga of unforced errors that have become so predictable, they're almost a spectacle. The most shocking part? Commentators, who are trained professionals at selling excitement, couldn't help but laugh. During one game, as Reese fumbled her way through a series of missed layups, the announcers' amusement was so obvious, they almost couldn't hide their disbelief. The awkward chuckles they shared weren't out of humor, they were the sound of utter professional disappointment. This wasn't a simple slip-up or a one-off bad game. This was a pattern so glaring that it's become a running joke on broadcasts. Even the professionals tasked with making the game look exciting couldn't help but find humor in Reese's failures. And it didn't stop there. The internet quickly caught on, turning Reese's blunders into viral content. Social media exploded with compilation videos of her missed shots, often paired with circus music or slow-motion effects, turning her gameplay into performance art. The clip of her missing layups became so iconic that it overshadowed any actual basketball achievements she might have had. Instead of building her reputation as a skilled player, she became an unintentional viral sensation, but not for the reasons any athlete would want. For Reebok, the risk of associating their brand with this kind of content was a reality they may not have been prepared for at AS. If the viral blooper reels weren't enough, the numbers behind Angel Reese's performance paint an even more troubling picture. Her shooting inefficiency has become a glaring issue for the Chicago Sky and a major red flag for Reebok's investment in her. Reese's shooting percentage on layups, a shot that every basketball player is expected to make without thinking, sits at an abysmal 31.5%. To put that into perspective, she attempts the third most layups in the entire league, but can't even convert 1/3 of them. And this isn't just a minor flaw in her game, it's a fundamental weakness that directly impacts her team's ability to win games. For a professional basketball player, especially one standing at 6 feet 3 inches, this inefficiency is mind-boggling. Most players in the WNBA and NBA convert layups at rates approaching 70 to 80%, but Reese, despite her height and athletic ability, has turned the most basic shot in basketball into a coin toss. Missing layups isn't just about having a bad game, it's about failing at what should be a routine, automatic part of the game. Reese's poor performance at the basket has become a hallmark of her career. It's not the occasional bad night, it's the norm. This inefficiency is even more shocking when you consider the stakes. Reese is expected to be the face of Reebok's basketball revival, but how can a company bet on someone who struggles with the most basic aspects of the game? The fact that Reese is missing these shots while also attempting the highest number in the league only highlights the sheer gap between what's expected of her and what she delivers. In a sport where precision and fundamentals matter, Reese has failed to live up to the most basic standard, putting the ball in the basket. And with every miss, the weight of that responsibility grows heavier, not just for her, but for everyone watching her struggle. Reebok's decision to place its faith in Angel Reese as the future of their basketball line now looks more like a high-stakes high-stakes gamble gone wrong. At the time of the signing, the company saw potential: a young star with a growing social media following, a national championship under her belt, and the kind of fiery personality that could capture the public's attention. But what they didn't anticipate was the sheer magnitude of Reese's struggles on the court and how those would reflect on their brand. Reebok's leadership, including CEO Todd Krinsky, compared her to basketball legends like Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson, both of whom left an indelible mark on the sport. But there's a problem with these comparisons. O'Neal and Iverson were not only icons, they were elite athletes who excelled in their prime. Reese, on the other hand, has consistently failed to convert the most basic shots in basketball. So, while Reebok had hoped to sign the next big thing, they ended up with an athlete whose performance is, at best, inconsistent and, at worst, downright comical. Reebok's bet on Reese isn't just about her on-court performance. It's about what they believe she represents: a shift toward a new generation of basketball players. Her unapologetic personality and strong social media presence were supposed to resonate with younger audiences, giving Reebok a fresh and edgy image. But now, with every missed layup and viral blooper reel, the connection between Reese and basketball excellence feels more distant. The brand's hope that Reese's off-court persona could make up for her on-court inefficiencies is starting to look increasingly misguided. For Reebok, the gamble is high. They've invested significant resources into marketing and promoting Reese, and now they're stuck with an athlete whose most viral moments come from her failures. As the 2026 launch date for her signature shoe approaches, the question looms large: how does Reebok turn around an endorsement deal that's become synonymous with missed opportunities, literally and figuratively? The struggles of Angel Reese are not confined to her performance. They're deeply tied to the struggles of the Chicago Sky, the team she plays for. Currently sitting at a dismal 7-21 record, the Sky's failure to win games is a direct reflection of their inability to consistently perform as a team, with Reese's on-court struggles only amplifying their woes. But here's the paradox: while the Sky are worse with Reese on the court, they're also worse without her. It's a confusing and frustrating situation that has everyone questioning what impact Reese actually has on her team. This odd dynamic is especially apparent when you look at the Sky's performance during games that Reese missed due to a back injury. Despite being without their star player, the team performed better in certain metrics. They managed to improve their offensive efficiency in some key areas, yet the losses still piled up. It's like the Sky are stuck in a loop where Reese's presence doesn't translate to victories, but the team seems unable to win without her either. In basketball, this is a strange paradox, one where the player that's supposed to be the focal point of the team is unable to elevate the squad, and when she's absent, they don't improve enough to win games. What makes this situation even more baffling is how Reese's numbers tell a different story from what the team's overall performance shows. While she might pull down some rebounds and provide some flashes of athleticism, the Chicago Sky's record speaks volumes about the lack of impact she's making in actual game results. In essence, her presence isn't leading to wins, and the absence of her inefficient shooting doesn't lead to much better results either. It's as if Reese is caught in a basketball paradox. She's statistically productive in certain areas, yet her team's performance seems to suffer regardless. For Reebok, this only complicates matters further. The player they've pinned their hopes on to help reshape their brand is part of a team that's sinking fast, with no clear solution in sight. Reese's inability to lift her team makes her endorsement deal that much harder to justify, especially when the company needs success on the court to align with their brand narrative of athletic excellence. While Angel Reese's on-court performance continues to fall short of expectations, she's found a strange and somewhat troubling form of success off the court. Her missed layups, poor shot selection, and fundamental errors have transformed her into an internet sensation, but not for the reasons Reebok or the Chicago Sky would want. These mistakes have become the subject of viral content, turning Reese into a walking meme. From compilation videos to TikTok edits, her blunders are now synonymous with social media entertainment rather than professional basketball skill. Every missed shot, every awkward moment has been turned into comedic gold. Fans and creators have taken her failed layups and thrown in slow-motion effects, circus music, and exaggerated reactions, making her mistakes the star of the show. What was once a simple part of the game, the missed shot, has become a spectacle that's been viewed millions of times. These viral moments have amassed a loyal following, but it's a following built on something that, in the context of professional sports, can only be described as failure. For Reebok, this viral fame presents a significant problem. The brand, known for its association with legendary athletes like Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson, now finds itself linked to an athlete whose most memorable moments have less to do with skill and more to do with entertaining fans through her errors. bloopers. Instead of being celebrated for her success on the court, Reese is being celebrated for the humor that surrounds her mistakes. This kind of viral attention isn't the type of marketing Reebok imagined when they signed her to a multi-year endorsement deal. Reebok is in a tough spot. Do they lean into this viral fame, using Reese's comedic moments to fuel their marketing? Or do they double down on her potential, hoping her performance improves before the 2026 launch? With every new viral video, the line between sports icon and unintentional comedy star continues to blur. And as Reese's missed shots continue to dominate social media, the question becomes more urgent. Can Reebok turn a player whose game is built on mistakes into the face of their next generation of performance gear? Or has the damage already been done? Just as the viral saturation of Angel Reese's missed layups reached its peak, fate stepped in with a twist. Reese was sidelined due to a back injury. While injuries are never something to celebrate, this brief hiatus might have come at the perfect time for Reebok and the Chicago Sky. Reese's absence from the court allowed the media and fans to briefly shift their focus away from her increasingly notorious blunders. It gave everyone involved, audience, analysts, and most importantly, Reebok, time to take a step back and reevaluate the situation. For Reebok's marketing team, this time off the court may have been a blessing in disguise. It provided a brief respite from the non-stop viral videos of missed shots and bloopers. With Reese out, there was a chance to rethink the messaging surrounding her signature shoe, especially as the 2026 launch date looms closer. Without her high-profile on-court failures dominating social media, Reebok had an opportunity to regroup, refine its strategy, and figure out how to position a product associated with a player whose most viral moments have been anything but impressive. But as much as the break might have been a temporary escape from the media storm, it also raised critical questions about Reebok's future plans. What happens when the athlete they've invested so much in isn't on the court to demonstrate growth or improvement? How do you market a product based on someone whose on-court persona has been eclipsed by viral fame tied to failure? While Reese's injury has given everyone time to breathe, it hasn't solved the underlying issue. Reebok has staked its reputation and marketing resources on an athlete whose performance on the court isn't living up to expectations. The clock is ticking. Reebok needs to figure out if they will continue to ride out this storm, trying to capitalize on Reese's personality and social media presence, or if they will pivot their strategy completely. In a way, the injury has become a turning point. Either Reebok seizes the opportunity to reframe Reese's narrative or watches their gamble spiral further into irrelevance as the 2026 launch date nears. As Angel Reese's struggles on the court become more pronounced, the reality of Reebok's investment in her grows more uncomfortable. With the 2026 launch of her signature shoe rapidly approaching, the question isn't just whether they can salvage the deal, it's whether they can recover from a potential marketing disaster. The pressure is mounting, and industry insiders are already speculating about potential shifts in Reebok's strategy. There are two possible paths forward, but both are fraught with challenges. One option for Reebok is to pivot the focus of Reese's endorsement deal from performance to lifestyle. While Reese's basketball skills have been underwhelming, her social media presence, bold personality, and cultural influence have made her a figure who resonates with younger audiences. Reebok could try to reframe her as more than just a basketball player, emphasizing her unapologetic nature, her outspoken persona, and her broader appeal in pop culture. This could transform her signature line from a performance shoe into a more general lifestyle product, positioning her as a symbol of resilience or defiance rather than basketball excellence. However, this shift would be risky. The core of Reebok's brand has always been rooted in performance, and moving away from that might confuse its loyal consumer base. Moreover, it's difficult to sell a lifestyle product built around someone whose most memorable moments are tied to failing at the most fundamental aspects of the game. Can Reebok sell shoes based on personality alone, or will consumers see through the marketing and focus on what's missing, the actual basketball talent? The other, less favorable, possibility is that Reebok could pull back from the deal entirely. With Reese's shooting inefficiencies and the growing negative media coverage, it's becoming harder for the company to ignore the mounting pressure. If they choose this route, they could either delay the launch of her signature shoe indefinitely or even look for an exit strategy altogether. The challenge, of course, is that backing out of the deal after such significant investment would be a PR nightmare of its own. The damage might already be done, and withdrawing from the partnership could send a message that Reebok failed to deliver on its gamble. Reebok's next steps will ultimately be dictated by how much risk they're willing to take on, and how much they're willing to admit that this partnership has failed to live up to expectations. With every missed shot and viral moment that highlights her flaws, Reese's performance is becoming a symbol symbol of everything that can go wrong when you try to build a brand around someone whose game is stuck in reverse. The stakes are high, and as the 2026 launch date approaches, the question is no longer whether Reebok can turn this around. It's whether they can salvage any dignity from this high-profile endorsement blunder. As Angel Reese's career unfolds, one thing becomes increasingly clear: her viral fame has been built on a foundation of failure. While some athletes achieve internet stardom for their on-court brilliance, Reese's rise to prominence has been fueled by her mistakes. From her missed layups to her repeated blunders, her viral moments have made her a walking meme, but not in the way Reebok had hoped. The uncomfortable reality for Reebok is that viral fame, especially when tied to failure, has a shelf life. Audiences may be laughing now, but how long can they sustain interest in someone whose primary contribution to the game is generating content for blooper reels? In the world of sports endorsements, success usually breeds aspiration. Fans buy shoes because they want to emulate the greatness of the athletes they admire. Think Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or Serena Williams. These athletes inspire consumers to strive for greatness, to channel their energy into something better. But what happens when your star player is known not for success, but for failure? Reebok's dilemma is how to market shoes built around someone whose most viral moments are marked by missed opportunities and embarrassing blunders. It's hard to sell the idea that wearing Angel Reese's signature shoe will help you improve your game when the athlete behind it is struggling with the fundamentals. The deeper issue here is that viral fame, especially fame built on failure, tends to have a short shelf life. Audiences grow tired of watching the same mistakes, and eventually, the comedic value of these moments fades. What was once a source of entertainment, Reese's missed layups, might eventually turn into a forgotten joke. For Reebok, the question isn't just whether Reese's viral fame can continue to fuel their marketing efforts. It's whether the attention generated by her failures will be enough to keep consumers engaged when, inevitably, the joke wears thin. This is the harsh reality of modern sports marketing. There's a fine line between being memorable and being worth remembering. While Reese's failures may have made her unforgettable for now, they aren't the kind of memories Reebok needs to build its brand. Reebok might find itself facing the ultimate paradox. The athlete generating the most buzz for them may end up being the one who does the most damage to their long-term brand strategy. As Reebok barrels toward the planned 2026 launch of Angel Reese's signature shoe, the spotlight on this partnership only intensifies. And it's not just because of her potential, it's because of the growing cautionary tale surrounding the deal. Reebok's bet on Reese was based on the idea that she could be the face of their basketball revival, a young athlete with a massive social media following and a personality that could captivate the younger generation. However, the deeper they get into this partnership, the more it feels like a marketing disaster waiting to unfold. What seemed like a bold move to tap into a new market is quickly turning into a PR hoping her game improves. The lifestyle approach could work, but it would risk alienating the brand's traditional sports-focused customers. Meanwhile, sticking with the performance angle feels increasingly unsustainable as her shooting issues persist. Reebok's dilemma is whether to salvage the situation or let it go, possibly pulling the plug before it becomes an even bigger debacle. The reality is that even if Reese manages to turn things around on the court, the damage may already be done. Her legacy, for better or worse, has already become defined by missed shots, viral memes, and social media jokes. As for Reebok, they may find that trying to build a brand around a player whose most notable moments are failures is a mistake they can't easily recover from. With the 2026 launch date approaching and the pressure mounting, the question remains: can Reebok salvage this partnership, or will Angel Reese's signature shoe become a cautionary tale in sports marketing history? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear: the stakes have never been higher. As the 2026 launch of Angel Reese's signature shoe approaches, the story of this high-stakes endorsement deal seems poised to end in one of two ways, either as a marketing triumph or as a cautionary tale that will be studied for years to come. What was once seen as an exciting gamble on a rising star has now transformed into a complicated mess of missed opportunities, viral failures, and mounting pressure on Reebok's marketing team. Reese's struggles on the court have overshadowed any hopes of basketball greatness, and her most memorable moments have become synonymous with failure rather than success. For Reebok, the situation has become increasingly difficult to navigate. They've backed an athlete who, while undeniably influential off the court, has failed to meet the performance expectations that are vital to their brand. As they inch closer to the 2026 launch, Reebok must decide whether to lean into Reese's social media presence and persona or face the reality that this partnership may never align with their athletic identity. If they opt to continue with the signature shoe launch, it could become a defining moment of the brand's future, here, either rebranding Reese as a lifestyle icon or acknowledging that some marketing bets just don't pay off. But for Reese, the stakes are equally high. The legacy she's building, both on and off the court, may not be about her basketball prowess at all. Instead, it could be about how the intersection of performance, media, and social media culture can make or break an athlete's career. If she can't overcome her on-court struggles, she may be remembered more for the blooper reels than for her potential to impact the game. As the clock ticks down to the 2026 launch, both Reebok and Reese are faced with a question they didn't anticipate. How do you recover from a partnership built on failure? If they can't find a way to pivot, the 2026 launch might just go down as one of the most awkward, expensive mistakes in sports marketing history. It's a situation that proves the difference between being memorable and being worth remembering, one that could forever change the way we think about athlete endorsements in the social media age.